Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to May Love Light Mindful Mondays. I am Kristen May. I use she, her, and they pronouns. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome, welcome. I am currently being held by the lands known as Wahwetanong to the Three Fires Confederacy, which is currently held by the Anishinaabe people, but has been held for generations by the Anishinaabe people. And this land is also known as Detroit, Michigan. Land acknowledgement is a way that we can continue to bring voice to the stewards of this land, the people who tend to it for generations. We are on stolen land, so it's just a way to bring voice to many that many of us don't know. So just wanted to share that. I also would like to take a moment to offer a lineage acknowledgement. Just wanting to point out that my understanding of mindfulness comes from the Western colonization of the ancient practice and culture of Buddhist teachings. My perception is only a drop of water in the vast richness of teachings that we know as mindfulness. And with this drop, I was given, I've been able to apply it to my life, and I really feel like it's yielded benefits and continues to beyond my imagination. And I have deep appreciation and respect for the people where these teachings originated and migrated within South and East Asia. And I hope that I'm able to nourish not only myself, but also others like yourself in a respectful manner that pays respect to our ability to awaken, also known as the Buddha within us, the teachings themselves, the Dharma, and the community, which is also known as the Sangha. Thank you. So the topic today, for Mindful Mondays, I like to offer a topic and I'll speak about it for a while and then kind of give us space to go into a practice. And then I will close out with some questions and reflections and send us off on our way. I was thinking about the highs and lows of life. That has been something that has been resting in my heart. And let me get my notes up. I wrote notes. So, excuse me. Yeah, I want to talk about the highs and lows of life and within the space of mindfulness, because I'm very big on the embodiment of the practice. And so, just to reiterate, mindfulness is being aware in the present moment without judgment, with openness and kind curiosity. And I'm going to keep referring to this as I share. And so, a reminder, I have respiratory challenges and they tend to manifest themselves through coughing. So, just letting you know. As I share this story, I just want to give a bit of a warning. I will share a difficult story and it may be challenging to hear. So definitely take care of yourself. I will try my best to not get caught into the details of the story. Um, yeah, so last weekend, not this weekend that just passed, but the one before it, I was able to go see Evanescence and My Chemical Romance in concert. And I was introduced to I was introduced to Evanescence when I was in high school, and My Chemical Romance, I started listening to their music when I was in college, and so I never saw Evanescence perform before, and I love that group much more than My Chemical Romance, but I'm happy to see both of them. And so when the concert began, um, excitement just like filled my body. Like the high school in me was the high school Kristen was just like, yeah, Amy, Amy. The lead singer of Evanescence is Amy, Amy Lee. And so it was just yeah. Um, and I tried to like not sing all the songs because of my respiratory issues. I was like a lot of lip syncing, but there were some songs I just like had to belt out. But I felt like I was being like kind of keeping myself pretty, um, yeah, just like trying to take care of myself while enjoying this concert. Um, and I'm going to pause and just like a practice while I'm sharing this story is to bring attention to your body, like what's arising in your body as I'm sharing this. Maybe you have your own band or a group that you love that from high school that you were able to see, or you know, if or maybe you yourself like Evanescence and you're like, oh my gosh, and you're feeling that excitement that I'm sharing. Excuse me. So this is a little way that we can bring in our practice, just noticing what's coming up in your body as I share this story, right? And so where yeah, and so yeah, concert was great. I did a lot of walking that day, and then the next day I also did a lot of walking, but I was just like just really filled in a high of being with dear friends. These are friends of mine from my undergrad days. So we've had like 20 years of friendship together and just like really feeling, I felt so much gratitude and joy just to experience this with them. And yeah, I was just like, yay. So I get home that Sunday and I, um, I there was some things I did, like, I tried to do some cleaning, and then I was like, "Let me get ready and take a shower and, like, kinda unwind for the rest of the evening." And after I did some cleaning, not even 5 minutes later when I was getting ready to prepare myself to shower, I began coughing, and the coughing continued into, like, a full-on asthma attack, and I was, home by myself, and this experience was extremely scary. My inhaler was in the basement because when I got home from my weekend, I just kind of dropped off my things in the basement and like went and did some other things around the house. And so I'm upstairs in my room having a full on asthma attack, unable to breathe, and just having yeah, it was very intense and excruciating all at the same time. And I started crying, and I noticed that the crying made it even worse. So I had to stop crying. And then I was also having muscle spasms in my abdomen, which was also adding there was excruciating pain in that space. So I couldn't really walk. I had to kind of wait for that to kind of taper off. And when it did, I was able to make my way to the basement to grab the inhaler. But it was a scary moment. And in that, like after I was able to get my inhaler and just kind of um, calm myself back down, I just really felt like, damn, it just felt like a low for me. Um, I was like not even 24 hours like before, you're just like in this high. Um, and then here I am just like kind of curled up in the fetal position, just like, um, noticing how your body feels hearing this story and how it shifted, what's arising for you. Are there stories that are coming up for you? Are there things that resonated for you? um, a little bit more about this story. I had a lot of tightness around my breathing just because of the asthma attack that happened. Excuse me. So throughout the week, there was just like things that were kind of um, the story was sticking a little bit. Just like I can acknowledge that I had this experience, and I did not want to like get caught up in the story of it, and it becomes like turn into a panic, you know. Um, and so I could see when the story would when it can start ruminating, it like keeps coming up, and I'm able to use these tools to just acknowledge, like, okay, I see the story, understood, like, yes, and it is an experience that has happened, and like, what are the steps I can do to um, help myself so that if this were to happen, that I could make sure that I'm better situated. So just like contacting my doctor to get more inhalers, so I don't just have one. Was thing a thing that I did. I ran into some difficulty with like some prescription stuff that really like I felt intense panic about, and I felt it in my body like as the panic arose. And then when the issue was resolved, the panic was already in my body, and it took time for it to taper off. And I just like felt so frustrated by that as well. Excuse me. Mm. And so it was just like I could see how this could become a cycle, like the frustration of the panic, and then like why won't these feelings in my body like dissipate, and just like kind of getting caught in a loop. I could see how that could happen, and I was able to like put it aside. And so a tool that I love to do is grounding. I went outside to the backyard and literally just stood on the grass, took off my shoes and stood there and just like allowed myself to rest in that, just like just allowing the earth to hold me in that way. And I felt really supported after that. Um, that helped to kind of taper off the feelings. So just noticing how you feel in the body again. So, what is arising in the body? Do you feel tightness? Did your body temperature increase? Did it decrease? Are you sweating? Um, is there a coolness? Like whatever is arising in the body, just noticing. And so I really felt like, you know, these highs and lows we have in our lives, and the moments in between, like these are things that are constantly happening, and how we can hold all of it. Because something that has been really supportive is just acknowledging what's happening. Um, yeah, because I just feel like when we ignore it, sometimes it can become even more intense. So it's one of those like name it to tame it type things. Like when you're able to acknowledge it, it kind of lose its stickiness. It's something that I've experienced, whether it's like saying it out loud or journaling about it, um, talking to a friend, just like or sharing with a therapist, whatever, however you're able to express what is happening, and allowing it to um, kind of lose its oomph, lose its oomph. Excuse me. Ah, I feel like sometimes the hook, um, we can get stuck in the story and spiral. Like I could, you know, yeah, just like the story of me being alone, and if this were to happen again, and what would I do? Or whenever I'm alone, there could be like a panic that could ensue if I start coughing. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm starting to cough. Is it about to happen? Like that's energy. I feel like that would not be helpful for me. And so just like really giving myself grace and understanding, Kristen, you are taking the steps to ensure that you're caring for yourself. You know where your inhaler is, and when you get the second inhaler, like where we will place it. Just making sure, like when I leave the house, I have one with me. Yeah, just taking those steps to care for myself. And this asthma diagnosis I received was just this year, so this is a new way of living for me, and so I'm learning as I go. And so, yeah, that's that's my story, and just wanting to share, yeah, just a little bit about highs and lows. Something else that I feel like comes up is just when we have those low moments and we may not want to acknowledge it because we feel like there's so many other people in the world that are suffering more than us. I um I can understand when people might feel that way. Just like, oh, what, like, let me not even bother to say, like, let me not, like, who am I to be upset about this thing that's happening? There's people that are having far worse. It's like, yes, acknowledge there are people having, there are people like, suffering is everywhere, and there's so many different forms of it, and it also acknowledging what's happening for us is important as well. Like the way I see it, like I'm a human being as well, and my life has value, and the things that I encounter matter, and I just definitely want to hold myself in that way, especially in a society, in a nation that tries to devalue our humanity, especially folks of color, especially Black bodied people. So yeah, that so for me, I definitely want to acknowledge if I'm experiencing extreme discomfort, to acknowledge it. And I also talked about the practice of grounding. And something I will lead us through is a form of cleansing. Like I shared some highs, I shared a low, and just noticing how it is holding in your body. And what we will do, excuse me, we're just going to sweep the body, just allowing yourself to kind of move any stagnant energy that might be there. Um, and just noticing you can just you can actually brush the arms. And I'm sure my mic is picking this up because it's a good mic. You're such a good mic. That's right. And I'm brushing my legs off. And if it's supportive, you can also take some deep breaths. Sometimes I'm able to take a deep breath and sometimes I'm not. It changes, it shifts around a lot. Okay, and then just shaking the hands. And you can allow the shake to get into the arms, a little shimmy, and just allow it to go through the body. I'm shaking my hips and the legs, shake one leg, and then switch and shake the other. Just allow the body to settle. Allowing the body to settle. You can take a moment to just notice how the body feels. There's a lot that happened within these last 20 minutes as I shared my story and as I invited you to check in with your body throughout, during the beginning, the middle, the end of the story. I noticed my body temperature increased. What else is present? I noticed some tightness I was holding in my stomach. I noticed it softened. And just noticing what's arising for you. Not every practice is a practice of closing your eyes. This also is a practice. I feel like these tools often gives me a way of remembering remembering the language my body speaks to me in, just becoming more and more in tune with how my body tells me it needs some tending to. When it feels great, when it doesn't feel so great. Yeah. Noticing my temperature decreasing. I can feel the coolness on my legs, the fabric, touch of fabric. Yeah. I do notice some tightness in my lower back. And I can already feel a story that wants to come in. It's like, oh, you're on your cycle. You're on your period. That is what's present, the tightness in the back. I can just allow that story to be there. I don't really need to involve or wrap myself into it. Just allowing it to be. So when I was thinking about this topic, highs and lows, a song came to mind. And the song that came to mind is CeeLo Soul, Don't Let It Go to Your Head. And just in case if you're not familiar with that, you can go to the description of this video and there is a link to the song. So enjoy that. I really feel like music for me music is very healing. Music is very grounding. Music can change the mood. Music is therapeutic. Music is medicine. And I don't know about you, but sometimes a song will come to mind and I'll like look at the lyrics of the song and like a lot of the time it is just like spot on to an experience or something that's going on. Um, it's something that's currently going on in my life. I'm just like, okay, all right, I see you. I see you. So that's how I felt about the CeeLo Soul song. Mm. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free. You can email me at maylovelight, the number 8 at gmail.com. And I'm curious of how this landed for you, in what ways your life, you work with your highs and lows. They're always going to happen. That is life. This is life. I like to offer a dedication of merit and offer metta. So dedication of merit is what we take any goodness that has come from us gathering, getting together, and just allowing it to radiate out and touch the hearts and minds of all beings everywhere. That's how dedication. And then metta is loving kindness practice, and we'll offer metta to all beings everywhere as well. So if you like to place a hand on the heart, or you can bring your palms together, this dedication of merit and metta comes from the Dharma Homies Collective. Within that group, Devin Sangster-Rath is the creator of this dedication of merit and metta. May any goodness that has come from us practicing together today be dedicated not only to us, but to all beings everywhere, seen and unseen. In particular, we dedicate this goodness to those who are suffering, especially those who are suffering under violence, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, ageism, xenophobia, and all the intersecting oppressions. We commit to doing the work within ourselves and in the world of uprooting greed, hatred, and delusion, so that our true heart's wish may come true, that all beings everywhere be free from suffering and pain. May all beings abide in the ease of well-being. May all beings be safe from both internal and external harm. May all beings know connection, love, joy, and peace. And may all beings be truly liberated. Thank you. Thank you so much. May you have a fruitful and nourishing week. And I will be back here next week, same time, 6 o'clock a.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. Take great care of yourselves and each other. Till next time.